What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 65 of The Climb, here with Luzenak today. It's a double header, everyone. Two huge games, Bayern Munich away, and then we're taking on PSG in the league. They're not exactly back-to-back, these two games. This one, in fact, comes at the start of November against Bayern Munich to kick things off, whereas the second game of today's episode is going to be at the tail end of things after a few more games, a few tricky ones to navigate. But ultimately, in terms of difficult episodes, I think this is about as hard as it can get. Two really hard away games, but we're going to give it our best shot and see how we do. Since last year, we've played two games in the league. We've lost our first game of the year. The unbeaten season dream is over, and it was over quite embarrassingly against Nice. They won 4-0. They just kind of demolished us to the point where I'm not going to show the highlights for that one. It's not worth seeing. I'm still upset about it. Let's instead focus on the positives. Let's have some PMA, positive mental attitude. This game against Rem was good. Yeah, not a bad response to a 4-0 defeat. We won 4-0 in the very next game. Ari with 2, his first goal coming in the first minute, his second one coming in the 7th minute, and that quick double kind of set us on our merry way. And also what was great to see in this game was, in the second half, Julio Cesar, the Brazilian forward who hadn't scored in his previous 4 matches, got off the mark for the club. Yes, and better late than never, a little bit of a slow starter perhaps, but you know what, we're going to celebrate that, we're going to enjoy that. Hopefully he's going to find some form. Ari did get man of the match, and it was good to see Julio score some goals. They weren't particularly difficult finishes, but they're finishes that have to be made by someone. He was the man who did them. And, those two results kind of put us in a precarious position now. We are still second in the league, ahead of Lyon, who, of course, we've drawn against. But you can see PSG slowly but surely edging away from us. They have not been unbeatable this year, but I feel like if we want to win the league, we have to beat them ourselves at the very least. So that's the task at hand for, in a month's time. But for now, we need to focus on the Champions League. We are going to be taking on Bayern Munich. Of course, we've just played them last episode and we drew 2-2 against them. Since then, it would be fair to say that in the league, things have been a bit hit and miss. I'm hopeful we can get a really good result here. If we do lose here, the sad reality is it's probably Europa League. That is kind of just how it is, the way that the group has played out. So ultimately, we need a good scoreline. Just as a quick look at the rules, the head-to-head rules are results between teams, and I think away goals does count in those. And you can see here it goes to away goals scored as well as goal difference. But ultimately, the first game that we played against them was a 2-2 draw at home. If we're going to draw against them here and still, go up and do better than them, we probably need to draw 2-2 or better. Is that possible? I don't know, but we're going to try and give it our best shot. In terms of team news for today's game, Kofi is back in the team. He was suspended for last episode's meeting, and the rest of the team kind of just picks itself at this point. Tomov in goal, Marsden and Adriano in at centre-back. I will be honest and say they have not wowed me this year. They've been a little bit disappointing. Two players who have improved a lot since they've come to the club. They are good quality players. I don't know if they're world-class or great quality players. And certainly the average ratings this year have been just a tad bit disappointing from them. Going in at left-back, we've got Felipe Jonathan and, of course, Sardella at left-back and right-back. Getting plenty of assists between them. Bra, who got a few, goals so far this season. No, actually, he didn't get a few goals this season. He got a few goals last season. Hasn't really got going this year, is what I was trying to say. But his average ratings have been quite good, a 7.54. He's really solid. If he could add a few goals to his game, we'd be laughing. But to be fair, he's very much kind of in the ballpark of where he was last year, which is kind of what I wanted from him. I did look at potentially signing a new deep line playmaker in the summer, but ultimately I couldn't find anyone better than Antonio. And I'm quite fond of him, despite the fact he's inconsistent. Of course, he's alongside Kene, whose goal-scoring escapades have slowed down after a quick start to the season. Maybe he could chip in with a goal or two today. Kofi out on the left is not really a surprise. Down the middle it is going to be Lopez, who is doing pretty well, all things considering. Yet to get a goal in the Champions League, but he's the kind of man who pops up on the big occasion. Maybe he can pop up today. Ari, who is so far the player of the season by a comfortable margin, is going to be out on the right-hand side. 8 goals to his name, only 2 assists, which by his own standards is a little subpar. But no, the amount of goals he's been chipping in with has been absolutely insane. And to start today's game, it is going to be Julio César. We're putting faith in him. He's got off the mark now. He's got those couple of goals in the most recent game, hoping that is going to inspire him going forward. Of course, this is the first of 2 games today, so get comfy, buckle up tightly, and let's see how we get on. Looking at their team, they are pretty much playing the exact same team that met us previously. The only difference I can see is Lucas Hernandez, and I think Kimmich at left back and right back might have been a different selection previously. Nevertheless, they're quite good players, it turns out. I mean, you might have heard of them in real life, put it that way. Either way, let's get a passionate team talk going. Come on, let's try and upset the apple cart. Now, there is a temptation maybe to try and hit them on the break to play a bit more defensively. But after the home game and the 2-2 draw, I want to try and be positive. I want to try and take the game to Bayern Munich. And I say all of this early on, the signs aren't very good. 13 minutes gone, and, well, we've yet to get a shot on target. I say that. Suddenly, our highlight starts with our throw-in. Can we make something happen? The keeper, I don't know if he spilt that or if he punched that. I think he's punched it. Bayern Munich now breaking away with Bodou. Huge tackle. And now Julio César. I mean, I'm expecting big things from César. The club record transfer at 16 million. Look at him go. Can he finish it? Not on this occasion. Tests the keeper, though, which is something that I would like to see us do in this game. After a bit of a slow start, it seems like we might have just got in our groove now. We might have just relaxed a little bit into this game. I mean, it's a good job it's a double live com today, because this game inside the first 40 minutes has had a distinct lack of action. Is there going to be anything to end this first half? I mean, a throw in for Sadella, big throw forward, keeper collects it. I mean, a goal for either team at this point in the game, you know, could be pretty critical. You can really swing a game in your favour by getting that bit of momentum just before half time. Really radically changing, I suppose, how, you know, as a manager, you have to approach the team talk. But they look content to play out from the back. We will press them slowly but surely. Could we win the ball high up the pitch, or are they about to break our press? It looks like it might be the latter, as they're working the ball nicely. Bodou uses his pace to get through and tucks it away. And I mean, what an incredible pass by Nino Krabbe. He's got his Krabbe patties out, and the recipe's pretty blooming good, it turns out. That was a delicious goal, wasn't it? Ball knocked around nicely in the midfield. Just one ball here, dinked over. Was our centre-back a bit flat-footed? Maybe. Can you blame Tomov for his positioning? Perhaps a little bit, although it's football manager goalkeepers, right? They're never in the right position for those ones. Unfortunately, that goal is going to swing things in their favour. Boys, I expect to see a much better showing in the second half. We need to step up here, as I've already mentioned. A defeat here, and we're kind of just out the Champions League, the way things are running, unless we could beat Atletico, which feels kind of unlikely. Need to defend this set piece here. A draw would be big. A draw would open up opportunities still. What can we do here? Marsden with the ball. Switches it over to the left-hand side to Kofi, the number 9, bringing it forward. Options left and right. Frédéric Bra. Can he finish it? What a save by Nubble in goal. Really strong hand to it from the keeper. Parries it out for a corner. Of all the players to have that chance, I don't know if Brass is kind of the player you'd necessarily want there. And while Marsden, free header, near post. He's not had the same goal-scoring kind of return, I suppose, as a near-post headerer this year, Barry Marsden. If there was a time to start getting the near-post headers, Barry, it's right now. Lopez bringing it forward, gets dispossessed really nicely, though. Bayern Munich putting in some good tackles, although turnover in possession. Sardella reads that pass well, bringing it forward himself. Options ahead, switches it over to Kimmich, who gets it away, and it's lumped forward to Bodou again. Got to be wary of that big ball over the top. They've got some pacey forwards at Bayern Munich, and while they're knocking the ball around here at the back, it's played through to Bodou again. Can Tomov come to the rescue? He can't. He was kind of left high and dry. It's time to change something, isn't it? And in fact, the change I'm going to do is the one that I've done a lot kind of in previous years. We need goals. It's not really clicked for us so far in this game. Worth noting, Neymar retiring in 2 months. Of course, we got him on loan from Flamengo. He has now announced officially his retirement. I'm going to bring in Sesko. I'm going to bring in Sesko for Lopez, I think. Still got a couple of subs. I could bring in Huskaric for Kofi. You know what? I kind of want to keep the faith in Kofi. I kind of want to keep the faith. Let's go a bit more attacking. Not necessarily as direct, but a higher tempo. Let's get the ball up the pitch that little bit quicker. And let's press hard. Let's really try and just force errors out of Bayern Munich. We need 2 goals now. We might as well go for a roll of the dice, right? Good team talk, good reaction from the sideline meeting. The sideline shout. I can do another, but time is getting away from us here. We just, in a game where we've been fairly toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich, unfortunately they've caught us out on the break twice, which is always going to happen. We don't have the quickest defence. I don't want to sit deep and invite opportunities, but a few really clinical finishes from Boadu have really made a difference, and well, Rodrigo smashes one home. And, well, the Champions League dream, I think, is fading. I think the light is going out on the dream. It's 3-0. I don't feel like we deserve to be 3-0 down. But unfortunately for us, a result like this really, I mean, it makes getting out the Champions League group not impossible, just very, very, very unlikely. And we would require fixtures to go in our favour and definitely a bit of luck. And I don't see PSV getting points off Bayern Munich, if I'm being honest, as Rodrigo has another opportunity. At this point, you know, I kind of want to drop deeper and stop them doing what they're doing, but at the same time, we've got to go for it. I mean, Julio Cesar scored. I think Sesko's fouled someone there. I feel like it's about to get ruled out. What's happening? We're going to VAR. I mean, my manager's celebrating on the sideline. Don't do it, mate. Don't do it. Don't celebrate with your jacket. Stop raising. Don't punch the air. It could be ruled out yet. I want to believe it's going to be given. It's a free kick. Sesko, I knew it. You naughty boy. In fact, it wasn't even Sesko. It was Julio Cesar. I'm so confused. Oh, no, it's Julio Cesar's goal that was disallowed. It was Sesko who committed the foul. Can we get a goal or two just, you know, to save a bit of face? Sardella tries to whip it in. It's cleared away to Bra. Let's give our fans one little thing to cheer about today. Kene, oh my word, I thought it was going in. I thought after I'd mentioned the fact he's not scored in a while, he was just going to score an absolute screamer there. Hasn't worked out. And I mean, am I allowed to say I feel like we've got a tad unlucky? Like, I know they've had the better clear-cut chances, but we had chances of our own. We've had a goal ruled out. And they just took every little half opportunity that came their way. Kofi with a chance there that is saved. I mean, we have a corner here to get a very, very kind of late consolation. Is it even much of a consolation at this point? I'm not entirely convinced. We're not even going to get it. Marsden heads it wide. That is going to be all she wrote for the first game of today's episode. A disappointing result, but with this result kind of makes making it out of the Champions League group very, very unlikely. Although PSV drawing with Atleti maybe opens a door. The door's not very far open if it is indeed open at all. Ultimately, yeah, we need a mini miracle. We're 4 points. We're not, you know, completely out of it yet, but I think we needed to win one of those games. And I feel like Atletico Madrid at home is not going to be very easy to win. But who knows? I mean, we're not out of it yet. I'm not going to do the game against Atletico because I want to do the game against PSG today. But depending on how things play out, maybe we come back for that game against PSV. Maybe it ends up being a big one, but I'm being quite realistic, I think, in accepting the fact that, unfortunately for us, it's looking rather likely that this year it's going to be Europa League at best. I mean, third place gets Europa League. If we were to finish behind PSV, they would just get that spot, and finishing fourth gets you nothing, which would be a bit of a damp way to end things here at Luzenac. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. Anyway, this was only one of 2 games today. I've got to go and try and mentally reset, play through the rest of the month, come back and take down PSG. It sounds so simple. Will it be simple? Stick around. Let's find out. Well, it's time. PSG away. That one fixture that every season in the league you kind of dread. Yeah, we have to be ready for it. Obviously, disappointing result that last one. And, well, since you were last here, we've played 3 matches and the league form's been good. The Champions League situation is disappointing because ultimately we are out. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. First and foremost, though, a good win against Marseille. A 2-0 win against a team who were going pretty strong. Ari with the first in this one, and then Julio Cesar with another. They had a sending off in the second half. We coasted our way over the line. We didn't exactly go for the jugular or go for the throat. There wasn't too much killer instinct. But a 2-0 win is a 2-0 win. We then took on Nim and got another similar result, this time Sesko and Huskaric getting the goals. Sesko, still a useful part of the team, obviously, unlikely to match his goal-scoring return of previous years. But in terms of his average ratings, this year has been one of his best seasons ever. Is really having a meaningful impact for us when he starts and often when he comes on off the bench, as was the case in this game here. And then, well, most recently we took on Atletico Madrid, and on the face of it, 1-1 at home seems like a really good result. I'd be pretty proud of that, ordinarily. In this game, Julio Cesar got the first off the back of a long throw. Unfortunately for us, they did equalise in the second half. A set piece that wasn't really dealt with. It was Perez at the back post that took it home. And with that result, we unfortunately bow out of the Champions League very prematurely. I say very prematurely. Ultimately, we came in as 4th seeds. We were drawn in a group with Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. It could have been easier. I guess it could have also been worse. Ultimately, with a game to go, we are guaranteed a Europa League spot. So there is more European football to come. It's not like we just go crashing out and it's all a big disaster. Just unfortunately, it's not going to be in the big boy competition. But I do feel like we perhaps go into the Europa League as a little bit of a favourite. Especially off the fact that we managed to actually take draws away from Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich at home. That is a pretty good achievement that I think we should be proud of. Unfortunately, obviously, just our inability to win one of those games means that with a game to spare, we're not catching up. Meanwhile, in the league, obviously, you've seen the back-to-back wins. You can see the current situation here. Lyon have overtaken us for the time being, although they have played a game more than us, ourselves and PSG with a game in hand. Realistically, if I want to challenge PSG, this is the kind of game where I need to get the 6-pointer done, and we need to beat them, hold them back, and, well, we could close the gap to 1 point here. We could also lose our grip on any kind of title hope, and they could pull 7 points clear, which I'm trying to pretend won't happen, but probably is the more likely kind of option. We are, of course, away from home, and, well, the bookies, they're not giving us much in the way of hope. But hope is not what we need. We just need a good performance. How hard can it be? In terms of team news for today's game, we're not in too bad a shape. I say that. You can see Lopez. I mean, apparently he doesn't need a fitness test. His condition is below 90. Take him off. Give him a rest. In his place, we're going to bring in Sergio Ortiz, the Mexican who recently made his first ever appearance during this year for the Mexico national team, which is really, really good to see from him. He is just a really well-rounded forward, a really good forward. I like him as a bit of a super sub. He hasn't had as many starts as I'm sure he would like. He's going to have a chance to show us what he's made of here today. The rest of the team, well, we've got a few more bits actually we need to just sort out. In fact, let's do this. Pick the best 11. We did have a few suspensions for that most recent game against Atletico Madrid. I mean, Koza started for us. When he's starting for us at left back, it's usually a sign that, you know, things are a bit rotated. Anyway, as I said, Lopez can't start today's game, so Ortiz is going to come in, but the rest of the team is pretty much the strongest 11. Julio Cesar, as you may gather from those recent highlights, has got a bit of goal-scoring form going. Let's see if he can keep it going here. That's the challenge at hand for him. And I feel like if he's at his best and we're at our best, we can potentially steal points away from PSG here. But they have got a bit of a super squad. It is a little bit of a god squad. Just looking at their team here, they've got Lautaro Martinez, they've got Jude Bellingham, Moriba, Todibo, Marquinhos. I mean, it's a very, very good team is the long and short of it. And in the midfield, you can see they've got a couple of regens. Mitchell out on the left. Yeah, he's inconsistent. Hopefully he's going to have a bad day at the office today. That's kind of what we're holding on to. And Soma, who you may remember scored against us in the Trophée des Champions at the start of the year. We need to win this game. We need to win this game now. We've crashed out of the Champions League. Yeah, the Europa League's nice. But I want to try and push PSG for the title. However, away from home, I can't pretend I'm coming in here with loads of hope. I can't pretend I'm coming in here with the expectation of a win. It's more the hope that keeps you going, and it's the hope that's going to keep us going here. As well, we get kicking off in this game. I feel like Kofi needs to be at his best. I feel like if Julio Cesar could pull out a rabbit out of the hat, a little bit of a magic act, that would probably help us on our merry way. Of course, it'd be nice to not concede inside the first 30 seconds here, if we could avoid it. They're bringing the ball forward. This makes me immediately nervous. Bellingham whips it in. I mean, it was in the 31st minute, so we didn't concede in the first 30. That's the silver lining. That is problematic. It's a bit of an understatement, I'll be honest. I don't even know what's happened there. We've just been completely ripped to shreds. Ball dinked towards the back post. Who is that having a nap? Who is that? Is that you, Sardella? Sardella's just he's not the races. I mean, we're straight into another highlight. I haven't got this on full game, have I? I haven't, just to prove it. Is there another goal coming? Can we reply immediately? That'd be cool. The FIFA kickoff glitch is coming into Football Manager. Brah. Not able to get on the end of that. They're bringing the ball forward here. This is a bit scary, isn't it? Suma, don't score, Tomov. Okay. Relax, everyone. Relax. Is it too soon to get shouty? The game thinks it is. I don't think it is. The players should be reacting there. We have woken up sleepily in this game and not really got off to the start that we needed. It's been disappointing. Can we get shouty now? Of course we can. I mean, the good news is, despite us not having a shot yet, it remains 1-0. And we're on the back foot here, aren't we? I'm gonna change things. I'm still living off that time. You might remember that time when we came back from 2-0 down to draw 3-2, to win 3-2. That was a good comeback, wasn't it? I'm still living off that a little bit, but with that in mind, I'm gonna change the system to match something similar to what we played on that day. Some would call it desperate, but we have had a shot since the change of system. We have also had a fair few yellow cards, which is a little bit of a concern. Anyway, PSG here, they've got Pieri, I don't know, down the left-hand side, Italian left-back, if I'm not mistaken. Ball forward here, Jude Bellingham inside to Mitchell. Do not let them get the shot away. Do not let them get the huge block. Can we block the next? Mitchell, Mariba, they've got some very good players, haven't they? Also, they are killing us on the overlap. I need to change something in a second. Please don't score from this. Huge tackle. I mean, it was a huge tackle. I feel bad for Felipe Jonathan there because he has done his job. Unfortunately for him, he's just, blocked it and it's gone straight to the opposition player who's able to smash it in and make it 2-0 PSG. I think for next episode, I'm just going to pick an easier game to do. So far this year, I've live-commed all the hard games. I just want to show you us winning a game. It's not that much to ask for, is it? I don't think it is, but the game seems to think otherwise. Anyway, let's not go 4-0 down before half-time. My tactical changes haven't taken effect yet, so if they kill us on the overlap again, I'm going to regret not pausing the match. Huge tackles there. Ball smashed forward to Ortiz. Can he get forward? Can he get it forward? Go on, Julio. Against the run of play. He's got to do a bit better than that, hasn't he? I mean, we've had a shot on target, everyone. It took until the 45th minute. Let's take the positives. Also, Tomov's made 6 saves that he's held. He's loving it. Those stats do not look good, do they? I can't pretend they look great. We're just being outclassed and outqualified. That's the long and short of it. They've got Lautaro Martinez. Their bench, they've got Havertz, Fabio Silva, Dani Olmo. I wish I could have those players on the bench. What a situation that would be in. Anyway, ball whipped in here. Bellingham looping header goes over the crossbar. 66 minutes gone. I'm going to take off Ortiz and bring in Sesko. I'm going to take off Ari and I'm going to bring in Neymar. Neymar's coming on, everyone. Yes, against his former club. He's retiring at the end of December upon his return to Brazil at the end of his 6-month loan. So this is going to be one of the last times we potentially ever see him on a football pitch. Can he just get a goal? Can he do anything? I have no idea. I mean, it's only 2-0. We only had one shot on target, but it's only 2-0. Which in a slightly bizarre way isn't that bad. And the time's just... I mean, what an awful game. I'm sorry, Neymar, that you couldn't do anything. Mariba gets man of the match for them. How good is Mariba? I feel sick. Get him off my... He's too good. He's too good. Unlucky boys. I mean, 2-0 doesn't feel terrible, but we never looked like even getting a point from that game, sadly. Braz got injured, but only for a couple of days, so that could be a little bit worse. And Neymar suffers a defeat against his former club. It's a sad, sad time for him. He looks far too happy about it, smug about it. Neymar, you shouldn't be smug about that. That's disappointing, to say the least. Anyway, in terms of when we'll be back, I think we will come back at the... I'm wondering now. I think we might come back for the game against Bordeaux, actually. 22nd of January. We'll have plenty of transfer business done. I was thinking about doing the game against Lille, but the reality is there's only 3 league games between then and now. And, the Champions League game is just kind of an exhibition game because we can't go up or down in that one. So with that in mind, I think we'll come back mid-January and see what we're doing. Potentially some transfer business done as well, as we have got a little bit of money to spend if we would like to do so. And, if we are going to, cement our spot, I guess, as best of the rest and try and get second in the league, I do feel like 1 or 2 new faces may be required. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. As I said, I need to stop live comming all the big games, because I feel like we come back and we just lose or draw every time. Tough episode today, 2 tough defeats, although, as I mentioned at the start, potentially the 2 toughest games of the year, away from home against Bayern Munich and away from home against PSG. I don't think you ever really go into those games with too much hope, but on the odd chance we could have an upset, I wanted to be here for it. I'm sorry we didn't deliver. We'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the double header, and I'll catch you guys next time. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.